Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a subscriber requested company. The name is BioHarvest Sciences, and I'm really excited to talk about this stock for a number of reasons we're going to lay out in today's presentation. Now before we get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comments section below if you're currently holding shares of BioHarvest, what you think about this company's patent portfolio, and how you think they stack up to some of the other players in this space. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at BioHarvest Sciences Incorporated, trades on the CSE here in Canada under the ticker symbol BHSC. Now this video came to me in the form of a subscriber request. I really appreciate you guys leaving comments on other videos about companies that you're invested in or looking to make an investment in. So thank you for requesting this one. A super interesting company sitting at a market cap in the neighborhood of about $140 million. And as you can see over the last 6 months, trading relatively flat with a high on November 22nd of about 37 cents. And a low back in July of 23 cents Canadian. Now based on close, this is as of Tuesday, December 6th. You're looking at about 30.5 cents. It was down 1 cent or 3.2% on the day. And based on the total addressable market, the patent portfolio, and the technology that this company has brought together, I definitely think this is one that should be on your radar. So to kick things off, I wanted to jump over to the corporate website here, bioharvest.com. I'll leave a link in the video description below and give you guys a little bit of background as to what this company is all about. So as you can see, they're named the Plant Cell Growth Company with a focus on growing your wellness through the BioHarvest portfolio. We marry science and technology with the power of nature to develop our breakthrough proprietary and patented biofarming technology, which we're going to look at in today's presentation. Again, plant cell growth focused that brings to the world consistently and economically the active and beneficial ingredients found in plants and secondary metabolites in their natural state, which ensures the highest bioavailability and efficacy for the human body. So essentially extracting all the good things out of these plants and making it easily consumable or digestible for the human body to ingest. And you can see the cannabis leaf on the right here, which is one great example of how BioHarvest is actually harnessing this technology. Now their flagship product, and the product that was actually mentioned by this subscriber who requested the video, is Vinia. This is a proprietary red grape cell product that contains the entire matrix of polyphenols contained in red grapes. So this is going to boost nitric oxide production, increase the rate of blood flow in customers or people who are using this product, and in turn give better energy levels and circulation to these end users. And what's exciting here is Vinia is just one example of one plant or compound that can be used to fulfill these type of beneficial features. Now you can see the news release on the bottom. We're actually going to look at this later in the presentation. BioHarvest signs their first U.S. agreement with Royal Emerald Pharmaceuticals to supply this disruptive cannabis solution to companies conducting FDA-approved medical research. So that's a big catalyst for this organization as well. And as you can see here, BioHarvest has been picked up and reported on by some of the biggest media outlets in North America, including Forbes, Globe and Mail, New York Post, the Houston Chronicle. So this is definitely a product and a company that's starting to make headway in the United States and the world at large. Now the story behind BioHarvest is quite interesting. So this was formed by two different doctors who met in Israel back in 2007. They realized they could combine their complementary skill sets to execute on a common vision of leveraging nature for improving human wellness. So BioHarvest was founded in the science park of the city of Rehovot, which is the hub of biotech innovation in Israel. They hired great talent in the plant biology space, so they brought in the experts in this field and worked diligently on their R&D program in biofarming technology specifically for years. So BioHarvest became the first and only company that grows cells of plants at industrial scale in liquid bioreactors in order to produce the secondary metabolites. So that's a key differentiator here as well, you guys, is they're not actually going out and acquiring the raw plant, but they're actually harvesting or growing the desired cells of these plants in their laboratories in these liquid bioreactors. Now they then go on to talk about the first product, which is Vinia, which we just discussed. And this was really a proof of concept. As you can see a little bit further down in the article, they can produce initially 2 tons per year at their Vinia factory. And that really proved the industrial feasibility of biofarming and the core idea behind this organization. Now fast forward, BioHarvest is now generating revenue from the sales of Vinia in Israel and in the United States. And in 2019, they started applying their biofarming technology to the cannabis industry. And that's really what that press release we just discussed that came out on November 16th is focused on and starts to talk about. Now in June of 2020, Ilan Sobel joined the company as CEO. He really accelerated the BioHarvest transformation into a fully operational and functional company, so shifting gears from a research and development focus to a revenue generating organization. And Ilan Sobel has now secured the expansion of their manufacturing facility to a new capacity of 20 tons per year, which took place in September of last year, or 2021. So again, we're starting to see that scale and commercialization really come to fruition here, no pun intended. And now that's why I'm starting to feel BioHarvest is looking like a very attractive investment opportunity. Now this slide here gives a ton of great information, including a timeline of the evolution at BioHarvest. So you can see first and only validated industrial scale plant cell technology platform for the production of plant metabolites, which is what we just referenced in the previous slide. Now the values behind the company, as you can imagine, this is a highly regulated field, you guys, so science is at the core of everything they do, meaning that all the claims and benefit statements you see on this website are backed by published or renowned scientific research. They've also got a high level of standard in terms of regulatory compliance, so ISO and GMP, which stands for Good Manufacturing Process Certified, really referring to the facilities or the labs that are producing these compounds. Customer first focus, so again, human health is the grand motivator, or really the reason this company was created. So they strive to produce wellness products that again are scientifically proven and backed up, but have a first-class customer experience. And then last but not least, their employee satisfaction, which is a core pillar of this organization, because they believe in order to be a successful company, they need to employ successful people and provide them with the best and safest work experience or conditions to really operate in. Now this timeline here makes reference to some of the milestones we talked on in that history section. In 2014, this is when they achieved that industrial scale plant cell growth and commercial GMP production for the Vinia product. 2017, they established that dedicated cannabis R&D program. 2018, they introduced cannabis cells to grow on both solid media and in suspension. So starting to lab grow those cells that are required for additional research. You can see THCA, THC, CBDA, CBD, CBN, and CBC were all compounds in focus. The company produced their first cannabis cells in small bioreactors obtained in Israel. And by 2020, they were ready to scale up for their cannabis cells into medium and large scale bioreactors and develop drying process for the cannabis cells. And as we'll see in a couple of seconds here, red grapes and cannabis are really only scratching the surface of what the team at BioHarvest thinks is available in terms of this technology. Now, in terms of the actual science behind this process, BioHarvest actually invented and trademarked what's known as bioplant solicitation, which again is focused on plant cell growth in order to economically and consistently produce the secondary metabolites devoid of any undesired materials, like sugars or fats, so a more pure and concentrated product that they can then turn into these consumer goods. Now, one of the other benefits here is the production of these plants is not dependent on any seasonality or any potential supply interruptions and is done in totally aseptic conditions, which means it's free from contamination of potentially harmful bacteria, viruses, or microorganisms. Now, they have a great video here showing this bioplant solicitation process in action, so I'd encourage you guys to go in and watch this video on YouTube. But essentially what they do, you guys, is convert traditional plants in the raw form into these highly concentrated end products. And the process itself is done in 5 steps. So first, they take the plant, they select the desired plant that contains important active photochemicals, and then they select the part of the plant that contains the cells they desire to grow, whether that's red grapes, olives, as we're going to talk about, or cannabis plants. From there, the second step is to isolate the cells. So they select the part of the plant that contains these desired cells, they cut them into small pieces and insert them into a petri dish on a solid medium that contains nutrients. That's what's enabling them to grow. The biofarming technology mimics nature, and as such, the petri dish is stored in a controlled temperature, light is controlled, oxygen amounts are controlled, and this enables these plant cells to grow. Now the next step would be storing the cells in what's known as a cell bank. So the cells that are grown in this petri dish constitute the cell bank itself, and these are then going to be used for perpetual production or ongoing production down the road. And this is actually the stage that gives them that total independence over Mother Nature or the mother plant, because they never need to reintroduce the plant itself after this step has been completed. And that's what you see in the visual up top here. So the initial process, which is performed once, is that extraction of the desired cells from the plant. The perpetual process is once they're growing these desired cells in those cell banks, this can continue to roll on in perpetuity without the input plant ever being required again. Now the fourth step is actually the biofarm. They then select the desired plants that contain the important active photochemicals and the part of the plant that contains the cells they desire to grow. And the fifth step is actually harvesting. So this is when the cells have reached the adequate biomass or the desired biomass. They're harvested and dried into that final powder form containing the desired active phytochemicals, and the produced powder can then be packaged and used in different applications. So this 5-step process is really what gives BioHarvest and this bioplant solicitation process a major point of differentiation over conventional cannabis cultivation or any other practices for extracting these desired cells. So whether you're talking about production cost, capex, actual land requirements, production time cycles, purity, consistency, or sustainability, BioHarvest has a clear advantage over any of the traditional farming or extraction techniques. And they're also able to patent this technology and ensure that there's no chemicals or GMOs in these products, which is a major point of differentiation and acts as a major barrier to entry for other companies wanting to enter this sector. Now, a little bit earlier in the presentation, I mentioned that Vinia or grapes and cannabis are only scratching the surface of what this technology is capable of and really the goals of the team at BioHarvest. So you can see they're also looking at potentially developing olive extracts or pomegranate in 2023. So in the case of olives is to really maintain normal blood cholesterol levels and cholesterol concentrations. In the case of pomegranate, this is going to be an anti-inflammatory support. Both of these are 0-calorie alternatives. And then obviously the Vinia product, which is available for purchase currently, and cannabis, which we just referenced on the last couple of slides. And this is actually a quick look at the Vinia website itself. So you can see proven blood flow superfood and some of the accolades that this product has achieved. So they've invested over $50 million in getting this product to market, 15 years of research and development, 3 clinical studies, 8 scientific studies, 14 patents, and actually patented the technology to create this product. So again, when we talk about barriers to entry or points of differentiation for BioHarvest, these are major long-term development cycles. So other companies cannot just come in and take market share from BioHarvest. And as we're going to see in the next slide, the market opportunity here for these type of products is absolutely massive. And that's really a perfect segue to this slide here. So the total addressable market between nutraceuticals, cannabinoids, proteins, flavor and fragrance products, and what's known as cosmeceuticals represents over $500 billion in total addressable market or opportunity. So again, absolutely massive here, especially considering the market cap, which again is sitting sub $150 million on BioHarvest. Now, as we continue to scroll down, you can see there's a lot of macro trends or catalysts that are really supporting this industry. And one of them is this global dietary supplement market, which is showing a compound annual growth rate in excess of 4% through to 2030. Now, I know my wife and I are definitely part of this statistic. We've both started taking supplements and multivitamins on a daily basis, and I think this is a trend that a lot of people are really going to be pursuing as people look for healthy alternatives and ways to improve their quality of health. Now, they then go on to give some really interesting statistics about the nutraceutical ingredient market in terms of overall market size and in terms of geographic location, so where nutraceutical ingredients are distributed around the world. And the other thing I wanted to bring up here is the forecasted global legal cannabis market by 2024. So this is another $104 billion opportunity here, you guys. And you can see North America represents nearly $38 billion, with Europe coming in first at $39 billion in terms of market opportunity. Now, on the topic of cannabis, that's where I really wanted to shift and spend a little bit of time here, because this really is the next frontier for the team at BioHarvest after their Vinia product. So you can see they've broken plant-based biology scientific barriers by becoming the first company to ever produce cannabis without growing the plant itself, which we just talked about. And what this really allows them to do, you guys, is develop a much more pure and desirable outcome. So you can see the massive point of differentiation between naturally grown cannabis versus lab grown is really the level of these major and minor cannabinoids that are found in the end result. So 93% trichome levels, which represents between 100 to 200 times the density of trichomes versus the plant found in nature. And again, some of the other benefits: non-GMO, it's clean, no solvents, no heavy metals, 100% biodegradable wastewater, and that trusted science, which is the core behind this organization. So again, they use the exact same process that we saw with the Vinia product, broken down into those 5 steps. That's going to give them clean and consistent product. And again, that unique composition that's not found in nature. So they then go on to talk about some of these differences. So this is a full spectrum product that contains major and minor cannabinoids in unique composition. Their first strain was developed from part of a hemp plant, and they were able to elicit a mix of in excess 5% THC and 35% cannabinoids. And if you actually look at a comparison chart here, whichever of these cannabinoid types you're looking at, whether it's CBD, THC, CBN, you can see if they use the source hemp plant versus their unique lab-grown composition, you're looking at results anywhere from 6.5 times as potent up to 249 times in the case of THCV. So overall, if you look at all cannabinoids, you're looking at an overall increase factor of 12 times when you use the BioHarvest patented technology. Now, with that being said, and as we start to wrap up today's video, I wanted to leave you with this one here that really talks about how BioHarvest is unlocking the secrets of this plant biology. So some of the major priorities and milestones that we've seen in 2022 when we talk about catalysts for this stock: they launched their unique cannabis composition into the market. They aggressively scaled their Vinia product in the USA with direct-to-consumer customer acquisition and that major partnership we're going to talk about. They commenced multiple clinical trials on their Vinia and cannabis lineups. They saw a number of regulatory and geographic expansions for both products. They hired key personnel for their clinical and manufacturing expansion. A renewed focus on this ESG leadership and ESG credentials. They finalized and announced the next vertical to be added to their technology platform, and a final focus of moving to a more senior US stock exchange, or to get off of that OTC exchange we saw in the intro. So each one of these objectives is completed to a differing or varying level. Obviously, some are still yet to be checked off, but you can see a very busy year for the team at BioHarvest. And again, the competitive advantages of this organization really come down to their patented platform of technology, the proven management team and the experience in this industry, and the low capex and highly sustainable alternative method to actually cultivating these cells. And with that, there's a number of other videos available on YouTube talking about their Q3 results, interviewing some of the members of leadership team, and talking about that big US supply agreement, which is where I wanted to end out today's video. So this is the article that came out November 16th, talking about that partnership with Royal Emerald Pharmaceuticals to supply this disruptive cannabis solution to companies conducting FDA-approved medical research. So the deal is structured over an initial 3-year term with extension provisions, allowing the supply of BioHarvest cannabis products for research purposes to pharmaceutical companies, research institutions, and other DEA-registered entities in the United States. So this is actually going to open the door to advanced cannabis research and drug development through cannabinoid compositions not found in nature. Now, under the multi-year deal, BioHarvest is going to be the exclusive provider of cannabis that is produced from non-traditional cultivation methods for scientific, medical, and research purposes. So again, leveraging their patented technology in those 5 steps we looked at earlier in the presentation. And this resulted in a $1 million convertible loan investment into BioHarvest as part of the initial LOI or letter of intent. So this is really a huge step for the cannabis industry, the research and development overall, but gives a lot of validity to the process that's been developed at BioHarvest and the products and the cells or cannabinoids that they're producing from this process. Now, Alain Sobel, who again is the CEO of BioHarvest, goes on to say, "We're extremely proud to partner with Royal Emerald to pair our breakthrough technology with their mission to revolutionize the cannabis medical research ecosystem by introducing unique and patentable cannabis compositions that are non-addictive and effectively treat a myriad of issues currently ailing our global communities. BioHarvest and REP are committed to developing life-changing solutions for major medical conditions which today are not being adequately treated by existing chemically synthesized drugs. Imagine what can be accomplished if researchers and medical community at large are assured of batch-to-batch consistency and the ability to fine-tune the cannabis-based therapy to specific medical indications. That is truly revolutionary." So I'll leave you guys with that really cutting-edge technology here that has the potential to change major industries around the world. With that being said, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on BioHarvest in the comment section below, what you think about their technology, what you think about their Vinia product, and if you're currently holding shares. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.